melted fog?
I don't think so. Wait a minute. You went to a Harry Potter event without me?
Well, you like the place, so yeah.
Can you believe that? Quick travel tip is when you get home and get unpacked, just leave your bag outside for a day. Just let it air out. Feels really good to be home. I slept so good last night, like so good. I was just out. I mean, nothing could have awakened me. Except maybe that. The Joby Fallen. That power of video was amazing. The actual event was amazing. Getting there and getting home, those were not so amazing. You know what? Like, having to include some of that stuff in the vlog is like, oh, this is all I have for the vlog. But actually, the more I thought about it today, the more I realized that it was good. And as I like watched my vlogs back, I oftentimes just watch them just to see if there's something I could have done better or could have changed, so that way I can learn from them. Instagram and YouTube and all the social media platforms, you know, give travel this like really amazing look, okay? Like, it's super glamorous. You just go where you want, everything goes smoothly, and the planes are nice, and the people are friendly, and you have great meals. I'm here to tell you, travel is not glamorous, okay? Unless you're flying first class everywhere, travel is absolutely 100% the most unglamorous thing in the world. And there's nothing about travel that's glamorous. And I know that a lot of us portray it, and I might have in the past. I hope I come across as more authentic than just like this glamorous travel. Getting to Ireland and getting home was an ordeal, and it was really stressful, and it really sucked. To go into the negative zone, but the reality is travel, like your flights, things are just not always going to go the way you want them to go, and that's exactly what happened to me this time. I didn't show some of it because I was just really stressed out. On my flight there, Norwegian was like an hour and 20 minutes behind, so I ended up missing the first flight into Belfast that morning. I have never missed a flight in my life, so that really stressed me out, number one. Number two, I had to go through the front counter to deal with the customer service again, which meant that I had to go all the way back through security, which is just a hassle when you carry as much like equipment as I do, because you have to take it all out, they have to look at it all, you gotta take your belt off, take your shoes off. It's just a hassle. Then with all the hurricane stuff going on, which I didn't know of because I don't watch the news, I get an email Saturday night. Really, I don't really know what time it would be here in America, but it was like 2:30, 3 a.m. And it's like, your flights may be canceled. And I was like, what do? I don't know what to do. Like, who do I contact? Here's the problem. I'm in Ireland with no cell phone service. The internet barely works. And then the hotel phone wouldn't dial out sometimes either because it was spotty. And so I asked the front desk, and they're like, hey, it's just Northern Ireland. What? A really uncomfortable, weird place to be when you're not sure if you're going to make it home on time because of a hurricane blocking you. And like, I just did not want to stay in London or Amsterdam or somewhere another 3 or 4 days and have to wait. It was like the weight of not being home was starting to set in. I was missing the girls, and I mean, to be honest, I guess you'd call it homesick. It was like at that moment I lost all hope of what to do. Like, my mental capacity was gone. Not to mention I was utterly exhausted and like trying to do this in the middle of the night. And it just felt so, I felt so helpless. Here I was in a foreign country, you know, and no way of possibly getting home because of a hurricane, or like, and the things that go through your head when you're in that mode is like, oh, well, all the rest of the flights are going to be booked. Somebody's already done all this. Like, people have already booked the flights. I'm just going to have to wait here 3 or 4 more days, and I don't want to do that. Maybe I don't want to spend the money to do it. What am I going to do? And then as I was trying to book a flight, my bank blocked the charge because it was coming out of the UK. Even though I told them I was going to be traveling, I didn't tell them I'd be buying anything on a UK website. So then it blocked that, and then I freaked out because I was like, what if my debit card is blocked? That's all I have. I got a few dollars in American cash, but that doesn't translate enough to getting a taxi, getting a bite to eat. Like, all those things go through your head, and like, it is uncomfortable. And a good word for it is that I was just generally scared, like, because I didn't know what to do. I'm trying to hang this off of a fence. the prospect of getting home, when that is threatened, it's just like the survival instinct ensues, and you're like, I will crush, destroy anything to get home. So then, as I get the flight booked, my wife comes through and she books a flight, and just everything seems like it's okay. But then I'm like, oh man, what if the hurricane speeds up and gets to Atlanta before I can fly in? What if that one's delayed? All these thoughts just go through your head, and it's just so uncomfortable. Then, as I get to the Belfast airport, I get ready to board the plane, and Leela can attest to this because she was right beside me there. I get ready to board the plane, and they're like, your passport's not working. I'm like, what do you mean my passport's not working? They're like, oh, well, we got to scan it, but we don't have the scanner back here. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? They're like, well, I guess we got to take it up front. You're going to have to stand here while everybody else boards the plane. So Matthew stands over here just like... And finally, they come back and they're like, hey, we got it scanned, finally. So I was the last person to board the plane. Fortunately, I was able to board the plane, get to Amsterdam, and then once I got to Amsterdam, I was like, well, you know what, I'll just like stay up, I'll work on the vlog, I'll shop around, I'll just look around. I get to Amsterdam, and at 9 o'clock, everything closes. Literally everything. Everything in the Amsterdam airport closed at 9. Which is why I went and found that Yotel thing. I was like, well, I need somewhere to like rest or sleep or something. So I get to that hotel room and I get my vlog edited, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting like crazy tired, just one of those exhaustion headaches again. So I'm like, well, okay. So I think, okay, I guess I can take a nap, right? I can get some sleep. Well, then the thought entered into my head, well, what if you don't wake up in time? What if you set your alarm and you turn it off? What if the alarm doesn't go off? All those things just continually play out in your head, and it's just pure panic. It's a rush of panic, and it's unfortunate, but that is the reality of travel. None of those things happened. Obviously, I'm home. Everything went well. The plane ride was fine, and honestly, all 6 plane rides were really smooth. Hardly any turbulence, so that was nice. That was a big plus. Delta, major shout out to Delta Airlines for flying me back home. They were so accommodating. They got me on. There were only like 3 other seats left on that flight to Atlanta, so I was so glad to be on that. And like everything on that flight was perfect. The people were so nice, the snacks, all that stuff. I mean, it was just well worth the little bit extra money. So I do say this. I used to recommend Momondo.com. I'm gonna say never use Momondo again, because with this booking, I actually missed out having any kind of carry-on bag. Couldn't check a bag or anything because it was like this super economy. Here goes a Delta right now. It only saved me like $200 total, and I'm telling you right now, that is utterly not worth it. It's not worth it. I would have loved to have had a carry-on bag. So my recommendation from here on out, use Google Trips. Google Trips, you can book a flight, a hotel, all that. It'll update it through your Google Calendar. It's just so much more efficient. You know, you might spend an extra $100, but what you spend in that extra $100 is going to give you so much more comfort, so much more ease of travel, and just a sense of security knowing that your flight is through the same airline all the way there, because that makes such a difference. Such a difference, because this last one was Frontier, Norwegian. Norwegian's terrible, by the way, and EasyJet. So on the way back, it was just pure Delta, operated by KLM, but it was Delta. Just makes everything so much smoother. Check-in processes are easy. You don't have to re-go through security, all this nonsense. Travel is just not glamorous. Like, getting there is messy, it's tiring, it's hot, you're sweaty, you need to brush your teeth, everybody stinks, everybody on the plane's coughing, and they got gas, and it's just it's just bad. Like the actual process of travel oftentimes is just terrible. I just wanted to be 100% transparent with you and tell you that don't believe all the travel hype. Traveling, like getting to your destination, is great. Traveling is messy, and most of the time unenjoyable. Let's just be honest. Let's call it like it is. It's just not great, but it's where you're going that should make that travel worth it, and it did, right? Power Video was amazing. I'm Hyatt. That's Hyatt like the hotel. I'll see you tomorrow.